Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amber Kohler. If you are new, thank you for stopping by and seeing what I have to offer on my channel. If you are returning, thank you so much for continuing to come back for more chaotic cleaning. So my name is Amber and I live with my husband, our dog, and our 3 guinea pigs. And we just bought this house a year ago. A little bit about me. And I like to do cleaning, organizing, and sometimes Dollar Tree hauls. So this is our kitchen, and in this video, this kitchen had sat for a little bit because Anthony had just had surgery, and so it was a really stressful couple weeks because he was kind of laid up on the couch, which you'll see, and it was pretty much just him and I. We did have a little bit of help, but for the most part it was just him and I, and it was really difficult because we pretty much had to rearrange like our entire schedule, and I was pretty much the primary caregiver for our animals and all the housework. So normally, we split all of that, and he also wasn't able to go to work for a couple weeks, so things were tight, and he is just about ready to go back to work, which is really awesome. So we were just really tired. It was a lot of sleeping on the couch, and it was just really stressful, but it definitely strengthened our marriage, at least in my opinion. So you'll see in the living room, Anthony's on the couch and I was sleeping next to him on the other end. And so yeah, there was just a lot to go through. So that's kind of why we've had a lot of stuff piled up. There's where I was sleeping. And so yeah, hopefully, and that's where Lucy was sleeping because she knew Dad was not feeling well. But yeah, so it looks like a lot, but it really wasn't. It was a lot more trash than anything. And this is me like, okay, well, let's get to it. So I would like to think that I have a pretty good system down for our downstairs. And is what I do when I clean is I usually throw a load of laundry in, because doing laundry while cleaning is so easy, and by the time you go to switch it, you'll probably have the kitchen done. So then is what I do is grab a garbage bag. I go through and pick up any and all trash and recyclables, and I do separate the two because our garbage company does have 2 separate bins. So you can see that I was separating the bags. And then is what I like to do is go right to the dishwasher. We had clean dishes. It's super easy to unload the dishwasher. Everything has a place. And then in my opinion, loading the dishwasher is pretty simple too. We try to rinse our dishes as we go. It's not always that successful, but a lot of the times it's just a quick rinse, throw it in the dishwasher, and then you can start the dishwasher, and then that's going. And most of our dishes can go in the dishwasher, which is really awesome, but we do have some stuff like some pots and pans, bakeware, and a special set of dishware that cannot go in the microwave or the dishwasher. So then I will hand wash those dishes and put those in our little dish strainer. And then once I've done the hand washing, it's pretty much just rinsing, cleaning out the sink. And you'll also notice that even after I thought I was done with the dishes and had cleaned out the sink and wiped everything down, I actually ended up finding a lunch pail from like the week before. Luckily it was fairly rinsed out and everything, and I didn't really have anything gross in it. I think I had like some Cheez-Its in a container, so that wasn't bad, and then like some pasta salad. But it's funny to me because I always think I'm done doing the dishes, and I look around and I ask Anthony, hey, are there any glasses anywhere? And we always think that we're done with dishes, and then we turn around and there's something in one of our cars, or there's something upstairs, or there's something out of sight, or in a lunch pail. So, and then I was just drying the dishes because there was not a ton of room in our dish drainer. So I dried some dishes and put them away. And then I washed the sink, scrubbed it down pretty good, and rinsed out our little, I don't know what these are called. They're like sink, I don't know. They stand like an inch higher than, not even higher than the sink basin. And I don't really know what they're for, but it came with the sink. And wiped down the backsplash. And then all those rags that you see in the sink, so I try to reuse, they're like these reusable wipes, so to speak, and I'm pretty sure you can get a few uses out of them, but when they get dirty, what I will start to do is soak them in bleach and clean them for another use. And so I kind of just pile them up in the corner of the sink until I have all of them to clean. And then the next thing I do is wipe down the stove top and the appliances, and then the countertops. And yeah, I feel like this is my little routine that I do. It seems to be pretty successful. And then once I'm done with all that, is what I try to do is pick up, and I've heard other people use this method too, but pretty much if there's something that doesn't belong in that room, I go and I put it in the room that it belongs in, but I don't take care of it. I just, if it goes in the bathroom, I just set it on the sink. If it goes in the living room, I just set it in the living room somewhere. If it goes upstairs, I actually have a little bin that sits on our stairs, and I will eventually take that upstairs when it gets full, because I'm one of those people that will direct my attention towards something else. So if I go to put something away, next thing I know, I'm in that room, cleaning in that room. And it's taken me a long time to train myself to not do that. So that's my little, I guess, what's the word I want? That's kind of my tactic for keeping myself in check. So then, yeah, I clean up stuff, organize, put stuff in the room. Like I said, just put it in the room it belongs in. And then clean up everything and take out the trash. And so yeah, this was the kitchen after I was done. I didn't get vacuuming and mopping in this video. I actually was waiting to vacuum and mop it after I did the living room, because I also wanted to vacuum the living room. And just as I finished the living room, our friend came over to stay with us for a few days. So I totally lost track of time, lost track of what I had been doing, and ended up not vacuuming and mopping the kitchen. But it's okay, because as of today, which is Monday, so I filmed this on Thursday last week. Today's Monday. I can promise you today I vacuumed and mopped. So it gets done eventually. And so yeah, here's the living room. Kind of the same concept. I ended up switching the laundry over because, like I said, by the time I got done with the kitchen, the laundry was ready to be swapped. And that basket didn't belong in the living room anyways. So I also opened up the windows because it was so stuffy in our living room, because we had been laid up for like a week on the couch, and a lot of my responsibility was like making sure he had his meds on time, because for the first few days he could like barely move. Helping him fix his cushions on the couch, making sure he was comfortable, getting him ice packs, water, making sure, he was just comfortable, and helping him get to the bathroom. So it was just so stuffy in the living room, and I was like, you know what, I'm opening up the windows. So I did that, and then this was the stuff that I had done for my decluttering video, and I wasn't quite sure what to do with it, so I just put it in a tote and put it in our shed, because usually I take that stuff to a local charity donation center, But to be quite honest, I have like 3 totes of stuff now that I have to drop off, and they're really heavy. So I'm gonna have to wait until Anthony can help me and he's not gonna hurt himself. But yeah, so this was pretty much everything. I couldn't really do much for the couch because, like I said, Anthony and I were laying on the couch. But everything is clean, and I did vacuum the living room. So anyways, sorry guys, this is kind of short, it's kind of quick. There will be a part 2 coming out later, but thanks for watching, and let me know what you guys think. Bye.